Hello, everybody. Welcome to another installment of The Interview, our special podcast that we're doing for Digital Divas Summit, which is happening at Innovation City on the 25th of August. It's a whole day full of networking, connection, 20 different amazing female speakers. And I'm here today at the Innovation City Media Studio and on the line with the MD of Innovation City, Michelle Cleo. Is Liesl St Quintin. Liesl, welcome to the Digital Divas, The Interview.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Michelle, I believe you guys know each other.
Yes. So Liesl and I met each other when we were both working for Deloitte. Mm-hmm. And we used to run a little bit through Santon.
Yeah, we did.
She used to run far ahead, and I used to sort of trudge behind up the hills. and this was in the dark, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yes. I do remember 5 o'clock in the morning, but I think it was me behind while you were.
No. You were my inspiration for getting up and going. So yeah, and then we lost touch. I mean, I moved to Cape Town. You were still with Deloitte for quite a while, and then you moved over to Futureworld. Maybe let us start there. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Great. Yeah. So let me then start from Deloitte. Before that, it was sort of studies at UCT. So I have spent a little bit of time in the mother city, but then moved up here to Joburg to start working. Most of my career at Deloitte Consulting, I sort of fell into the mining industry, which I didn't plan to do, but it just happened. And it turned out to be an amazing experience. And I was with Deloitte for 13 years, and I just felt that I needed a push. I needed a challenge. I needed something different. So that was when I decided to join Futureworld. This was in September last year. I bought into the company, which was a huge leap of faith for me. And now I'm doing something completely different and very exciting. And I'm excited to share some of the things that we do and some of the things that really inspire me through the work that I do with Futureworld.
What is Futureworld?
Futureworld is a group of people who are entrepreneurs, ex-consultants, ex-corporate people, lawyers, engineers, accountants, you name it. But we all come together with one goal in mind, and that is to create game-changing new businesses that will thrive in an uncertain future. So we partner with corporates, with organizations to help them understand the signals from the future, and then we design these new businesses for them, and then we actually roll up our sleeves and we create these businesses and sometimes even operate the businesses for them. We also then co-invest in these businesses. So to really show that we believe in what we're doing, we put our money on the line.
Amazing. Any sort of interesting projects that you can talk about that you can disclose?
Yeah, I can. Well, one of the businesses that is already launched into the market, I can definitely talk about that one. It's called FutureWise. You can Google it. It's on LinkedIn. There's a web page, and essentially, FutureWise is a insure-tech business that also intersects into the education business. So it's essentially all digital. It's a digital platform where individuals can take out policies that will help to secure the education or the funds associated with education for their little ones growing up. So
that's amazing.
It's a simple concept, but something that is really impactful and necessary for South Africa in particular.
Amazing. Then tell me, in your industry, I mean, how important are the female players and at Futureworld, perhaps even?
Yeah, I think very important. Not only in the industry in which I work or the work that I do, but I think anywhere in any corporate environment. I think women are important because the things that I've sort of learned is that all of the women I've worked with have this incredible ability to juggle. and this is true for any life stage, particularly pertinent for those with spouses and children. So the role that women can play in any corporate environment is to really show that if you can get that balance, even just 80% right, then you really have it all. You don't have to sacrifice one for the other. And this was sort of a breakthrough insight for me growing up in my career. And we need more women in the fields in which we work to show that it can be done. And you can really just have it all. So very important to have women in the industry in which I work in particular.
Yeah. Great. You were talking about signals into the future, and that kind of perked my interest up a bit. What is the current signal in the future that we should all be looking at right now?
Well, you make me sound like I have a crystal ball and I'm going to predict.
Don't you have a crystal ball?
I wish I did. But these signals that we talk about in the future, it helps us really to create a picture of what we think the world is going to look like in the next 5, 10, 15 years. But no one can predict the future. But it gives us a real deep understanding of what we think it's going to look like, and then what we need to do today to thrive in that future. So a few things that I've been really working on a lot with my clients is these signals or these mega trends, these mega forces in the future. And there are 3 in particular that we're seeing right now. The first one is around saving the planet. There's this real need in any industry that we work to decarbonize. There's a lot of pressure around carbon taxes and really reducing your carbon footprint, the use of renewable sources of energy, and also to promote the circular economy. So recycling, manufacturing things that can be used again in a secondary economy, those sort of things. So that's the first one. The second one is around the changing global consumer profile, and it's linked to the saving the planet. So we see that there's rising urbanization, increased spending power within the younger generations, particularly in the Asia Pacific. And these younger generations like to spend differently. They don't spend on fast fashion, for example. It's very eco-conscious, eco-friendly fashion that they will spend on. They're not buying cars. They prefer to ride share. And if they do buy cars, they're going electric vehicles. So it's very much a sharing economy and very, very conscious about climate change. And the third one is our volatile geopolitical landscape. So we've seen a lot of tension and conflict around the globe when it comes to geopolitics. And the effect that this has on economies around the world is really just protectionism of local skills, local resources. And this is going to impact the ability to export, the ability to offshore. Countries are becoming very insular. So I mean, just looking at these 3 mega forces, organizations need to ask themselves, what does it mean for them? What are the implications? But also, what are the opportunities that they can take advantage of? And this is a lot of the work that we do and the things we talk about at Futureworld.
That's amazing. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Huge.
Yeah, it is.
Liesl, tell me, why is Futureworld based in Joburg and not in Cape Town?
Well, we're actually based all over. So we are a global company. We have a presence in Dubai. We have a presence in Joburg. We do have a presence in Cape Town. So about a third of our local team is sitting in Cape Town. But we're also expanding into Europe. And the clients that we work for are around the globe. A lot of our partners do a lot of globe trotting. So to answer your question, we are there. We're all over.
Fantastic. I wanted to ask, how big is digital in your industry? Is that the way forward, or do you, yeah?
I think it depends. It depends how you define digital. So digital is, the kind of the tools that we use, online platforms and things. Digital could be the way that you think about things, like sort of always looking at the edge of what you're doing, looking at what opportunities are right at the intersect of different industries. So it depends how you define it, but from in the basic sense, digital being technology advances, the use of AI in industry, in everyday life. It's very big because a lot of the opportunities that we find to build new businesses have got a very technological feel or a technological foundation. It's either a platform or a new technology that can be combined with a traditional way to process raw materials to create a new product. So in that sense, digital is huge and it's prolific across everything that we do.
Great. Tell us a bit about the segment that you're going to be doing for Digital Divas.
Yes. So I'm going to be talking about lessons in radical innovation. So I don't want to give away too much, but what I can say is that I'm going to be talking a little bit about what is radical innovation, how is it different to just innovation or transformation or change, step change. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Also why radical innovation is important, particularly in the future that we see, the world in 2030, the world in 2035. And then I'm also just going to give a few tips on how to radically innovate, both within your business and within your life. I think it's very important for any organization, whether you're a large corporate or small startup, to really engage in radical innovation. It's a currency that is needed to help organizations thrive in an uncertain future.
That's
I like that
amazing.
you said in your own life. Maybe can you tell us a little bit more about just, I know you're going to talk about it a whole lot, but, how would you do that in your own life?
So I'm going to talk from my own personal experience and just go back to a recent change in my career. So joining Futureworld. I was very much sort of my nature is risk averse, traditional corporate personality, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. It's I have loved what I've done year on year. It was just the personality that I am. I was comfortable in a very large corporate with rules and lots of governance and lots of regulations and lots of set frameworks, and I knew exactly what to do and when I had to do it. And as I said to you earlier, at the sort of middle of last year, I just felt that it was a time in my life when I needed a change. And if I didn't make the change then, I would never make the change. It was an age thing. It was a life stage thing. It was my husband at the time, the work that he was doing granted me the opportunity to do something radically different. So I took the leap. So the radical innovation in my personal life was leaving this corporate, very structured, known environment and moving into, I wouldn't call Futureworld a startup in any sense, but definitely a business that's a lot more agile and a business that we are still growing and building while we are doing the work that we're doing. And on top of that, I literally took my life savings and I put it into this business. So everything that I do now for Futureworld is creating an impact on me in a very personal way and on my children and on the future of my children. So that for me was a radical shift. I really had to put my old mindset, to the back and kind of take this leap and just have the confidence and take this bold step forward. And that's very much what radical innovation is about. Look at what the future holds, find an opportunity, and then boldly step into that opportunity and make it work.
That's very brave.
Thank you. It's worked out well so far.
Yeah.
So let's see.
I can't wait to hear more about it. It's
I'm
going to
really
be
excited
amazing.
about your segment.
Liesl, are you a digital diva?
I am a digital diva.
Tell us why.
I'm a digital diva because digital to me is it's more encompassing than just the technology or startups. For me, it means someone who's willing to step out and to test their capabilities in new and exciting things. So it's the radical innovation part. And the diva part for me is doing it in style. So
I love that.
I think
Fantastic. I think you.
Amazing,
Do you have any
yeah.
more questions?
No, thank you.
Liesl, thank you so much for taking the time out today. We really appreciate it, and looking forward to having you at Digital Divas.
I'm
Can't
so looking
wait.
forward to being there as well. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you,
Thanks very
Liesl.
much.
Okay. See you
Bye.
then.
Bye.